Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They run here with Jason Huntley. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they can be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
26.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And he'll flip this out to Huntley. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
First carry now for A.J. Dillon. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it, and the Vikings are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. Really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. The Vikings are 5-3 now on the year. They come in playing some pretty decent football, 5-3 over their last 8.
And I thought they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. They run the counter with Cook. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Throwing, Jones. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. A first carry here for Kene Nwangu. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kene Nwangu, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Joseph connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays and try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
They go again with Huntley. And he's got some space here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 44 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
A run with Huntley. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now it's Rodgers. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Fair catch taken right at the 10-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. There he goes, left side. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns, Charles. A great start to this ball game for them.
One of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimal level.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape. Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. He's got Tunyon complete over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. That's taken in by the tight end, Josiah DeGuara. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
On 1st down, Rodgers. That ball caught by Campbell. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the run, it's Huntley. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Rodgers going to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down. Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed. Unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Gay's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook. 123 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here we go.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. By the skin of their teeth, they are able to convert on 3rd and inches. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Now Jones. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jones. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. Now Rodgers. He'll go right back to Tunyon. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Got an open man. It's Pringle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Rodgers to throw once more. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Robert Tunyon as the 1st half is winding down. And the Packers are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the 1st half. Until that late score here in the 2nd quarter, they only had the field goal. So that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, and when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the 1st half. But when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as a head coach?
What?
I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
The Packers will set up for the 2-point conversion.
And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Matt Gay on for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10.
Makes the score Vikings 14, Packers 10.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this 1st half as the kick's away. Out of his end zone, here comes Jalen Reagor. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. 9 seconds to play. Likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Jones. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Here's Rager. He's going to bring this one out. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So that's a solid start to the second half. You come out of the lockers losing, thinking you're kicking it away, not going to have it, but boom, the fumble, they get it right back.
I don't know whether they even drew that up on the board or was it just said, but they had to have it. They needed a spark to get them going here in the second half, and they got it right away.
They'll run it here with Huntley. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. This will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Well, obviously, you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline and saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover. But I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense. Yeah. I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 145 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Rashawn Gary, the man to bring him down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defense in front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Cook running right. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now Greg Joseph for the field goal try. This one from 48 yards away. The kick by Joseph is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. To throw is Rodgers. The throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He's up to 70 yards receiving now as that last catch gets him a first down.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Now Huntley. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
On 2nd down, Huntley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Finds his receiver, Watson. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Up the middle they go. Huntley. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Stop made there by Brian Asamoah.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
26.
On 2nd down now, Huntley. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jason Huntley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will level the playing field at 17 all. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. Huntley. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 105 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through three quarters, no reason to lighten up now. From just shy of midfield, Rodgers. Open man left side. It's the tight end, Tunyon. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Huntley down to about the 37.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
At the 37-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Throwing is Rodgers. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that, but wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. Now Rodgers. This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. Nonchalant with a throw to the safety valve, but it's fourth down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
A 54-yard attempt.
And Gay knocks this one through, and that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then have a chance to attack the end zone.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
On second down, it's Cook again. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
But sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big third down conversion. First down, here's the run with Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1 yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I think as a running back in this spot, you have to understand there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run. And in this case, ball protection takes precedent over trying to make something happen.
On second and 11 now. Jones. Quick throw knocked away and incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important third down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And this offense on third down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is third and 11. Back to throw. Jones. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 41-yard line. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on second down. Jones. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. his left side. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that gives him a 3-point lead.
Vikings 24.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And they'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 25 yards that time. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
On first down, Huntley. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal now as they look for that final dagger. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Huntley, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with. They have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Dillon. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A.J. Dillon taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Packers get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Vikings 24.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Jones. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
14 yards, good for a Packer first down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Green Bay, they pick up win number 7 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11.